Check 1 2 2. On 2 2 1 2. Check 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 2. 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Check 2 1 1 2. On 2 2 2 2 2.
1 2. Do you hear anything? 1 2. Oh, it's clear. Are you serious?
2 2 2. You need to put volume. Normally, I saw they'll talk. 2 2 2.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, thank you all for coming to this workshop, the Green Imaginate workshop. Can we all just settle down? We're about to start. If you're in the second room, please, you can join us. Even if you're exhibiting, you can always go back during the exhibition. All right. I will just give us like 10 more seconds to settle down, then we'll start. I can still see a lot of people standing. Just fix yourself anywhere. There are seats over here. You can also seats here. All right. Again, you are welcome to the Green Imagine Nigeria events, focus on the green economy. My name is Tosin Ajide. Few of you might know me. Few of you have probably gotten emails from me or called me in the course of this event. And I just want to welcome you once again to the event. And as you can see, it's a workshop. It's not your contemporary seminar or webinar or symposium or conference. It's a workshop. We are all meant to contribute to why green economy is important. It's okay if you have basic ideas about green economy. It's okay if you don't have any idea in any way. It's okay if you're an expert. It's okay any stage you are in about the green economy. That's the major reason why we are here today, to just build a foundation for those that doesn't have foundation in green economy. For those that have ideas or background about green economy but wants to probably dive into it, you don't know how to go about it, or have a product that you need to promote, or you have any form of affiliation with green economy, this event is the right one for you. Everybody will be engaged in this event. It won't be the panels or the experts just talking to everybody. Everybody will be involved in today's session, and that is why it's being labeled a workshop, not just a conference. So I would like to just give a background to what the whole event is all about. I don't know if Bankole is here. All right, so I'm going to invite my boss. Olorun Toba Bankole is the CEO of Nigerian Climate Innovation Center. Please, can you please welcome him to give an overview of the event?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's quite a pleasure to be here in Port Harcourt. And everybody has been asking me the same question: have I eaten Boli? Of course I have. That was the first place I went to from the airport. Thank you very much. God bless me. And the fish too was very different. So thank you for honoring our invitation for this event. Today we've come from the Nigerian Climate Innovation Center, the UNDP, and the Office of the Vice President to have a conversation and as well help us share insight about how we can imagine how a beautiful Nigeria can be in a couple of years. So the Imagine Nigeria project has been a series of different other project components, from research to review to to mapping, survey, and also forecasting, and if I use Nigerian language, prophesying on how Nigeria will look like in a couple of years. And this document that will be that we've produced is synonymous to the dynamics of this country. This is not your classic type of document that says this is how this country looks like, so Nigeria should look like it. These are knowledge that sort of help us see that this is what we've understood that we are, and this is how we are likely going to become. So there are about 5 major pillars to this, and but for Port Harcourt here, we're having a conversation around green economy, and that's why you're seeing me here. So here we're here to sort of discuss on the beauty of Nigeria's emerging green economy, which is a beautiful economy, and it creates as much jobs as possible, and it's also a very rich economy. There's no economy in Nigeria that is not rich. And the green economy is a climate-focused type of economy, meaning that we look at this, the challenges that climate change is posing to us, and then we try to save the world with a business model. So here we'll be talking a lot around circularity. That's circular economy, where recycling and waste management is. Talking about renewable energy and all of its different forms and sources. Then the blue economy is there, which is dark for water. I mean, this is River State. You're just close by. Even your name sounds very water. So we have to discuss blue economy. All these all fall under that green economic umbrella that Nigeria, as a strategic country in Africa and across the world, is doing the best that it can, to make sure that we create the, some of the most conducive methods and modalities for us to be able to scale this green economy in Nigeria. We have the partnership, sort of like a tripartite partnership around this. The UNDP has been very strong in engaging and coordinating and ensuring that, the best types of format and, document as, is being produced. Also benchmarking with other possible economies. The VP office has provided that strong political strength of the highest order to ensure that we are doing the right thing, not just greenwashing. Now, there's a big aspect of green economy called greenwashing. Is what you know as wash. It's like wash, but now it's not for green. So if somebody's washing you and then add green to it, that's just typically what it means. And so they are, they've been really very helpful in making sure that we do not greenwash. And then our role here as NCIC also is to show you what is really happening within the ecosystem. So the green economic ecosystem is a very beautiful one. You've got the popular guys who are doing renewable energy, which is, I'm sure what everybody knows around that is just solar. But there are quite other things around renewable energy that, that you get to hear how, some of these businesses work. There's the clean stove cooking method side of things, and one of our friends here will come to share more about what his company has done around that light. There's the waste management side of things. There's the agricultural side of things, because this green economy is so beautiful that for everywhere there's a production, there's bound to be waste. And as long as there's waste, then you found business. Because we've come to realize that having a loop method around resource management helps us preserve more of those that we have than just exploring and consuming consistently. So for every time that we produce, to sort of shift our economic focus from that unilateral type of, economic model to a multifaceted one, having multiple types of different economies that all align into one possible big, gigantic, strong African economy. That's what we're trying to share with you here. There'll be live sessions. There'll be call to action talks. There'll be people who will share experiences about how they've built quality businesses. We'll share insight about the beautiful things that Nigeria is doing. Many people think Nigeria is not doing anything on climate change. I'm sorry to tell you that Nigeria is doing a fantastic lot, and even way better than many development countries or developed countries around climate change. We have a Climate Change Act. For many of you who don't know, we do have. We have a Climate Change Council with a new DG, which everyone in the industry agrees. This is one of the times where I find people in a particular sector agree that a particular, appointment fits what it was. We have the country's highest government from the VP's office doing business development on our energy market. Nigeria's that's renewable energy market is a very huge one, and it keeps growing by the day because of the huge challenges we have. And now, even for us as a country, we've come to understand that grants are not the only way forward. Investment is the best way forward. So the conversation that we have as a country goes beyond looking for cap in hand, someone should help us out. But to help you understand that there's a huge consumerism market here, and this market has that resource to be able to pay for the kinds of services that will come out of it. And at the same time, this same economy needs high-level investors with patient capital that can also invest in that, in that challenge. So in all, I believe, I don't work for Nigerian government, but I'm a Nigerian. And I believe in Nigerian government any day, anytime, no matter who that person is or what it is. But the point here is, this country has a bright future. We can see it. It's not far. Are we working towards it? Yes. Are there naysayers? Yes. Are there good, I don't know the other side of naysayers. Are there good sayers? Yes. Are there challenges? A huge plethora of challenges. Can we solve these challenges? Very well, we can solve these challenges. So please, while you're here, please, we want you to have an open mind. Be very interactive, ask questions. I'll be sitting somewhere, I'm not sure which of the corner I'm going to sit yet, but please look out. We're here to share as much knowledge as possible and also to learn as much as possible also from you on how things like this can work better. Not just how it cannot work, but rather how it can work better. Thank you very much and welcome.
All right. If I don't signal to Bankole, he can do this to probably 5 p.m. later today. He loves talking about green economy. All right, without wasting any of our time, I would like to welcome Benga Adesina. Benga is with the UNDP team. I'm very sure you are wondering the UNDP role and what brought up this whole program. So Benga will share more light on the UNDP role. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jide. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon to our friends online, no matter where you are. Thank you for joining us today. The exercise is Imagine Nigeria. Yes, imagine Nigeria. Where could Nigeria be 20, 30, 40 years down the road? The idea of thinking about the future is not new. It's been around for a long time. Countries need to regularly think about where we are, what are the issues that we are facing, what are the possibilities for the future, and how can we build a better future. It's a constant process that countries, individuals, and organizations must get involved, engage with, so you can improve your decision-making capacity today. You think long-term to improve your capacity of making decisions today. This exercise was conceived by a high-level panel that composed of quite a few people. It was supported actively by the VP's office at the presidency. The UNDP, who I'm a consultant for, provided the financial support, secretarial support to get this program undertaken. The exercise has been on now since 2020 October. We've done a lot of reviews, a lot of technical workshops, a lot of discussions, interviews. Interestingly, the program started at the height of COVID lockdown. So we had to do most of the work online. We consulted over 300 people in and outside of Nigeria to ask them some basic questions. What do they see as the critical challenges facing Nigeria? What are the possible scenarios for the future? If the scenarios is going this route, what should we be doing to move it to where we want to go? We ask a lot of technical issues, technical questions, and so the discussions with experts and also with people in the marketplaces in Lagos, in the Aba. We actually had a focus group meeting with team of manufacturers in the southeast of Nigeria on what they see for industry in this area over the longer term. And it is these inputs that we synthesize into this report. And what we are trying to do now is to move to that next phase. The next phase of taking the report to Nigerians, to engaging Nigerians on their views on this report, on their views, what the scenarios mean for them, individually, as organizations, or as institutions. What can we do differently? And how should these scenarios impact on our own activities and our own programs, so we can together, we as a collective, build a better Nigeria. Unfortunately, they're not showing the slides, but we can continue. This next phase of the program, we've done the report. You can check out the website, imaginenigeria.ng. You have the reports, abridged report, the full report, and a series of films that we've produced on the exercise. That's what the outputs. This next phase of the exercise is to, as I've said, is to engage Nigerians. And we've planned a series of meetings like this. This one here is focusing on the issue of green economy. All of us know, and all of us have desired largely that the Nigerian economy needs to be diversified. We are beginning to witness, to some extent, the end of the oil era. If you look at the global environment, what is happening. Long term, 20 years from now, oil will not be what it is today. We could keep seeing these fluctuations, prices going up, going down, but the longer term trend, that demand for oil is going to go down. And if demand for oil is going to go down, and over 80% of our exports is dependent on oil, what do we do? And it is now time to begin to prepare for this future, to begin to rethink the economy that we have now, and to see how we can build a more dynamic and a more transformed economy over the next decades or so. And so this session here is focused on one of the recommendations of the report, that Nigeria must find a way to catalyze the green economy. Catalyze the green economy in a way that we build new industries. We look around the world and say, where is the new value chains in this green economy space? Where can Nigeria lead? Where can our companies lead? What do we need to do differently as policymakers in Nigeria, as citizens, as stakeholders, as private sector, and as investors? Where do we invest our money in these new sectors, so that we can be able to, lead, gain markets, and create the jobs that we need to create for the country, for the young people in the country, and as well as create wealth for the economy. So let me stop here. We have two videos to show you guys. One is just a summary of the exercise, not the recommendations and the scenarios. And the second video focuses on the green economy. And that will showcase what's already happening on the ground. This is not new in Nigeria. It's already happening. But what we do need to do now as a society is, how do we galvanize around this? How do we strategize better around this? How do we develop better policies, better incentive structures? How do we direct investment to this sector, so that we can hopefully become one of the leaders in this new emerging market over the longer term? Thank you very much. The first video, please. Bear with us for a minute there. Technical issues, which always tend to happen. Okay, the video is shown on their computer already. Is it connected to sound and the projector? Yeah, can you start from the beginning again, please? And volume or sound. Essentially, the video presents the results of the exercise. It's about a 2-minute video that provides an overview of what was done, what are the main scenarios and the key recommendations. Can the sound? Okay, the video is playing well, but the sound, please. Hallelujah. Can you rewind, please, and so you can start from the beginning? Please restart from the beginning. That's not the sound, though. That's different sound. Not the sound from the video. What did you say? Don't work on the sound. Bear with us, those online. We have technical issues with the sound of the video. The sound system has some issues. But essentially, the video is going to present what we the core elements of the report in less than 2 minutes. Essentially, it showcases the scenarios. After the scenarios, it showcases the main recommendations of the report, and one of the main discussion today is around one of these recommendations. How can we catalyze the green economy in Nigeria over the next decades as a way to transform our economy and transform our society and create wealth? And the scenarios, as you maybe could see, there are 4 scenarios that we presented in the report. The scenarios, the critical uncertainties that anchor the scenarios are 2. One is governance. Are we going to continue to govern in a way that the leadership is governing for themselves, or are we going to govern for us? Govern for us in which governance is focused on creating the highest number of good for the greatest number of people. That is trying to ensure that we govern in a way that the needs and the interest of the population is what is critical, what is important, what is the goal. And the other element of the scenario, the other critical element of the scenarios is the issue of technology. Will technology be open or will it be closed? Will we have access to tech or will it be for the preserve of the few? Will our country be able to dominate, domesticate, and democratize access to technology in a way that our companies, our individuals can have access to technology to be able to do what they want to do? And when you put these 2 variables together, 2 by 2, you get 4 scenarios. The first scenario is mountain, fire on the mountain. Fire on the mountain, which most Nigerians understand what that means. It's essentially, it's an environment in which our society, our leadership kind of bury their head in the sand, not thinking through issues in a critical way, and not governing in the way that we need to govern, and not investing enough to be able to domesticate technology and domesticate access to domesticate innovation to spread within the economy. In this environment where governance is not good, we don't have access to technology, and the implications going down is serious. Is that we have an environment in which economy is not growing, stagnation, and the other things that follow. That's the mountain, fire on the mountain scenarios. Now, finally, we are here. Thank you. On this journey. It's coming from here. Can you guys hear this? Where's the volume? feel like what are they saying?
Let us imagine the next few decades and shine a light on four possible scenarios, the challenges and the great opportunities laid ahead of us. Nigeria chooses to keep things as they are, as insecurity and other challenges intensify. Will a youth-led resistance rise, or will they simply be crushed? Will Nigeria use its innovation to address security and diversify revenue, but it neglects governance and issues of identity? Will Nigerians live under a surveillance state or fall into cyber warfare led by a tech-savvy opposition? Nigeria is hijacked by tech giants. Tech delivers some wealth at the cost of freedom. Will Nigerians relinquish control, or will the people embrace a hard reset and encourage a million flowers to bloom? Leveraging its people's talent for innovation, Nigeria taps into global trends to build a thriving economy, transform society, and accountable governance while leading Africa. And as a constructive guide to a flourishing 21st century, we propose five pillars of transformation: building a culture of innovation, catalyzing the green economy, leading Africa, building trust, and finally, facilitating a national narrative. Together, we can make a difference. Take action. Join the movement. Visit imaginenigeria.ng today.
Thank you very much. I hope it'll be easier to play the second video. This video essentially summarizes the results of the exercise. If you want the report, you can download it online on the imaginenigeria.ng. There's two versions. The long version is about 160 pages, and the shorter version is about 50 pages. The abridged version provides an overview with the key recommendations. Now we show the second video, which focuses on the green economy, which is our focus of our meeting today here. How do we catalyze the green economy in Nigeria? We're going to be listening to you guys to contribute ideas and to help drive the discussion, not only here, but to take the discussions back to your different communities of interest to see how we can begin to drive change slowly in Nigeria over the longer term. Thank you. The video, please. Second one.
Can you give us this mic?
For the flash. They have the flash.
Okay, then remove that one. If they are done with it,
They cut it on that flash. All right. These are some of the few green innovators that are currently in the green economy, and we want to show a practical or speak to innovators that are already in this space, that are doing some things, and you can connect with them. They will share their experience, how they got into the green economy space, the progress they've made so far, and their journey towards green economy. So I will start with the project lead for high tech, Chinonzo Joe. All right, please welcome Chinonzo.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, it's a pleasure to stand before you today to talk about this. This is something I'm actually quite passionate about. And iTech Energy is a renewable energy company that is still in the growth. It's still growing. We're still on the upward journey. And, well, it hasn't been very easy. It hasn't been very easy, but it's a story I'd like to always share because it's filled with passion, because if we're going to go by the struggles we've already had to get to where we are now, then the company should have shut down a long time ago. So first of all, being in Rivers State here allows us to experience some challenges. We're seeing these challenges firsthand, and it's quite different from standing afar and guessing what problems are. So when we started this company, we started with providing inverter systems, but along the line we saw that we had to do a rethink and then understand really what people wanted. So it took us some time, and we were able to actually see that we had to be innovative. Providing inverter systems as a source of power wasn't just going to do it for us. And then we spent a really long period. We spent most of last year in Plateau State. First time we shared people were going to Plateau State, they said, why would you leave Port Harcourt? Why would you leave Rivers State to go to the middle belt? But we saw that there was actually a problem there. We saw that potato farmers, I'm a big fan of Irish potatoes. Like from when I was a kid, I liked to eat Irish potatoes. And if we check around, we see that up to about 95%, yeah, that's between 93 and 95% of the potatoes we eat actually come from Plateau State. But now the farmers in Plateau State were already facing major problems, which nobody was paying attention to because everybody was concerned about eating and nobody cared about those producing the food. So we were able to see that their problem first is coming as a result of climate change, which is what we've been preaching, from burning of fossil fuels and all we've been doing. Is beginning to affect the farmers there as well. Because when you look at potatoes, they need a certain climate to grow. The reason they can't grow here naturally is has the climate as one of the factors. So we got there and we saw that climate change is having a big toll on the farmers there, where temperatures are actually dropping in that place. We had some a particular day where it was raining ice blocks, and when we said, wow, this is cool, and is this how cold this place is, what we're told was this is actually quite small because what it used to be is no longer what it is now. We're actually getting warmer temperatures, and this is also affecting the storage for the farmers. So we're able to get into a partnership with the Plateau State Potato Value Chain Support Office, where we're providing them solar-powered smart storage facilities. Because so that was the first problem they had, how to store their potatoes after harvesting. And well, the truth is, when it comes to innovations, this isn't an easy journey. It's much easier when you, permit me to use the word, to use that, much easier when you decide to probably buy and sell. But as a young boy, my dad used to tell me, ideas rule the world. So thinking up creative ways to solve problems is actually not as easy as it looks. Where by the time you listen to some motivational speakers and they tell you, yeah, you've got this in you and you've got this, maybe you decide, okay, yeah, let me give it a try. But being on the field allowed us to understand the real problems, and we saw that even when you have a brilliant idea, implementation on the field could be a different thing. So we had our blueprints, we had what we had done from our preliminary research, And by the time we got to Plateau State, while a lot of what we had lined up with what we're seeing on the field, we still had to do a lot of modification, because well, by the time we interacted with most of the farmers, because we didn't just stay at the office and do things, we were actually riding the farms with the farmers, and we saw better ways we could fine-tune our innovative way of assisting them to adapt to climate change. And then after that, we decided that it's probably time we reached out to other people. And then we started with partnerships, because before you run, you'd have to crawl, and then you'd have to walk before you can run. So we saw a couple of companies that had products which we saw that we could tweak to fit the Nigerian market and solve real Nigerian problems. Now, we have a partnership with Empony Off-Grid in Germany, where we're providing off-grid off-grid oil presses that help farmers extract oil from their farm produce, and then off-grid pumps that will help for irrigation and provision of water off-grid. And then we also thought about it that if we have these people doing this, those who are outside solving problems for those of us here, why can't we actually put up our own things that are made in Nigeria for Nigerian people and other people that have such problems? So it led us to focus fully on research and development. Well, it's quite unfortunate that we do not have any of our finished products here. I wish this program had come just a bit later. Would have been able to have that, because we're going to start production of our prototypes by next month, October, unfailingly. And then I think after that, we'll be able to share and give a better story of what we're doing. So we're trying to actually see creative ways we can solve problems for people that live here. Thank you.
All right, so if you like Irish potato, Nonso is trying to preserve Irish potato for you. All right, thank you so much, Nonso. He has a stand. You can visit the stand, and I think he has a flat screen to show you his finished product and what they're trying to do. So without wasting any of our time, I would like to invite one of my favorite innovators, Hene Yoshi, the COO of AgriCity. By the way, Hene won the Nigerian Climate Launchpad earlier last month, right? And she will be representing Nigeria at the Africa Regional Finals, which somehow is today. So she's doing two things right now. She's pitching and in Egypt, and she's also here. All right.
Thank you so much. Good day, everybody. It's a pleasure being here today. Please, can I have my slide? So my name is Enei Oshi. I am the co-founder and chief operations officer at AgriCity. Basically, at AgriCity, we are constructing and producing climate-smart farming systems. So our work is basically to enable green agriculture, and we do this by designing and implementing climate-smart farming systems. We also engage in promoting youth involvement in agriculture. This is because we noticed that majority of the young minds are no longer interested in agriculture. They see agriculture as, something for the old people. It's usually filled with debt and toil. And so we've gone ahead to create smart farming systems using aquaponics. We also have a smart agri-pyramid system that combines poultry and aquaponics as well. And then we build portable hydroponic systems that people can have in their homes as home gardens, promoting cottage farming. We also do the black soldier fly farm design, and we implement in homes as well. Lastly, we design poultry and aquaculture systems on small scales, which can fit into people's homes as home gardens as well. Part of our work in promoting youth involvement in agriculture is the Young City Farmers Initiative, where we partner with schools to build beautiful school farms to promote agriculture among the young minds. So far we've partnered with the Lagos State government to kickstart what we call the Lagos Agri-Scholars Program, where we are going to be partnering with public schools, secondary schools, boarding houses, as well as transformational centers to build our farms and also train the students on how to, develop passion and interest in agriculture. Now, today, what I'll be talking about is green agriculture. Agriculture contributes immensely to the green economy, and there are tons of opportunities in the green agriculture space that has still been left untapped. A particular sector of which I'm totally passionate about is the protein industry. Now, this is because studies have shown that 92.7 million Nigerians do not eat any protein in a day. While this is so alarming, it shows the great gap in the protein industry. And more shocking is the fact that currently our farmers can only meet 30% of the protein demand in Nigeria, meaning that 70% of our protein foods are gotten from other countries, exports, and it is really, really sad for a country like Nigeria, which is blessed with, abundance of natural resources. And so this sector alone is a huge gap for we, the young minds, to take advantage of. Now, the big question is, how can you key into this opportunity, harnessing green economy? There are a ton of ways we can key into the green agriculture space directly and indirectly. Now, talking about directly, we can look into venturing into production, aquaculture, meat production, poultry production, livestock rearing. But then indirectly, we can join forces to facilitate production through alleviating challenges that limit production. This would entail we build systems that ensure that we can adapt to climate change, just like the previous speaker talked about in the area of Irish potato. And also we look towards ensuring that diseases, pests, and all of these challenges are also reduced. The second way we can work in this sector is post-production and marketing solutions. This work to facilitate production. We have tons of marketing systems that cater for storage, logistics, distribution, but there is still a huge gap yet to be filled. And so we are encouraging youth to start thinking of ways that they can come into this sector because the market is wide. Lastly, we have pre-production and input management. This would also boost production. We're looking at ways that we can make inputs more affordable and more accessible. Back to the second venture I talked about. Food waste contributes to 10% of the greenhouse gases, and this cuts down food availability by 30%. Now, we do not even have enough produce to eat, and we are already losing 30% of what is available to waste. And this is why we need more young minds to come into this sector and look at ways that we can reduce food waste, or look at ways that we can transform the wasted food into something more productive. And then lastly, I mentioned input management. I would like to tell us about the black soldier fly, which transforms organic waste into healthy protein source for feed production and replacement. So there are tons of ways that we can aid input management in the agricultural sector. And this is one of the ways that we can ensure that farmers have spend less on their feed. We can relate to the fact that, or for farmers here, we can relate to the fact that feed was on a very high side this year, with products that ensure that the cost of feed is reduced, products like the black soldier fly, we can have inputs more managed, less cost, would maximize profit for the farmers. There are numerous ways to venture into green economy today. All we need is for people to be willing to start, willing to take on and research, willing to, go ahead to innovate. And I'm here to encourage us all that we should really start thinking green economy because the world needs us. Thank you.
Much. Thank you so much, Enei. Quickly, we've seen technology, we've seen protein solutions. So next, I would like to invite my friend, the founder of Plastic Culture, Matthew. Do you need help? All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ubon Matthew. I am the vision behind Plastic Culture. We had a problem. We still have it, though. This is the problem we have. Everyone drinks water from single-use plastics. But when they're done, what they do with it causes problems. I can guarantee you that the bottle you're drinking now might end up in the dump site. So problems that are facing single-use plastic waste management, we feel like it's supposed to be solved by the government or by big organizations or by anyone else apart from us. But we have seen that the consumer, the end user rather, is the key, the missing link when it comes to sustainable plastic waste management. And when we started out asking people around where I came from, people decided that they didn't know what it was about. They didn't think it was causing problems, and they didn't have bins to dispose their plastic waste. Obviously, we couldn't get the kind of funding we needed to provide bins for people to start disposing plastic waste properly. So we had to improvise. From the scratch we started. We started collecting plastic waste from our friends. We told them what it was about, how they could help. And eventually, we started getting tons of friends give us plastic waste, and we started a bank. So imagine Nigeria, where this is money. Everyone is talking about how we don't have money in Nigeria. Can you guess how many sachets of pure water is discarded in Nigeria daily, indiscriminately? Or the single-use bottles, the PET bottles that we use daily. We want to solve this problem by talking to the end user, you especially, because when you are aware of what this does to our environment, and when you know what to do with it, and when you know where to key in, then you are able to solve the problem without having to wait for the government, who will actually get to tax us to do this properly. So we want the end users to know that this problem that we're facing with plastic waste pollution in Nigeria is affecting all of us, and it's also an opportunity for young people like us who are harnessing this to become currency. So what we did to make people interested in this was that we kind of found a retail value for each sachet at 5 kobo currently in our economy. So anyone that brings this to our bank is depositing 5 kobo, which appreciates sometimes to about 1 naira per sachet. So we want people to look at this as value instead of tossing it around and having the current system we have now is people toss it, throw it in the bins, and it ends up in the dump site. Somebody goes in there, probably a young guy, a young child maybe, or an older person goes in and scavenges and takes it out, cleans it, and takes it to someone to recycle it. That process is making the system unsustainable. So we have this problem where people need this as a resource to do so many things. The clothes you're wearing, the hair, your shoes, your chair, even this bin that was made from waste, but they cannot have sustainable supply. So the issue we're having is collection. We're trying to bridge the end user and the consumer of single-use plastic waste, and we want everyone to be aware of this new ideology of how to solve the problem, which is the end user, when you finish using your plastic, immediately put it in here. So we don't have to go around collecting it. It costs tons of money and energy for us to be able to reclaim plastic waste when you dispose of it the way we currently do. So I want to inspire you today, you know, to look around you. You see people that recycle. We have friends who actually donate this even to